Okay, Rouba, I'm pronouncing it right, Rouba Asmar, right? Is that the right to say it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so thank you for coming to the Rice Pudding Project show.
Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. We've, of course, known each other 15, I think I met you 15 years ago.
Probably, if
Yeah.
not more.
Was it, I think I was walking around in offices handing out my CV, and you were the EP, the executive producer of the Talkies back then.
That's 19 years ago.
No, not 19.
Yeah.
For the camera, 9 years ago, because we're younger than that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Both of us.
Yeah, and then you moved on from there. I had heard so much about you. I think I'm trying to remember who you with Joyce.
Joyce
With
Am.
Joyce Am at the time,
Yeah.
yeah. And everyone told me I have to go see you. And I was trying to get work as a first AD. Or something. I was just trying to get work. Anything,
Probably.
coffee boy. And then you moved to you went to TBWA as the head of production, head
Yeah.
of TV.
Yeah,
Head
yeah,
of TV there.
Head of TV.
Head of TV, yeah. And everyone I had heard so much about you, and said, and then obviously that's why I have to have you on the show because of your experience, the work you've done, your history, how you started. But for the other people who don't know, what is it you do?
Basically, after all of what you mentioned, after having spent 12 years at TBWA, I opened my production company. So now I have a production company that does all sorts of pretty films, all sorts of pretty photo shoots.
Okay. What's it called?
Moreish Productions.
Why Moreish?
Well, I mean, you know what Moreish means first. Do
I
you?
don't. Yeah,
Okay,
I know. Of
so
course,
Moreish-
I know, but you need to tell for the viewers.
No, but because it's not a very common word.
Yeah,
I learned that I discovered that word a few years back.
Okay.
So Moreish, it means it comes from the food industry. It comes from when you eat food, and when you eat something and it's so tasty that you can't get enough of it, you want more of it. It's Moreish, so it's in Arabic. It's called malli.
Malli.
There is a word for it in
Okay.
Arabic, malli.
Okay.
It's like you can't get enough of it. Yeah,
Okay.
like chips are Moreish,
Yeah.
truffles are Moreish. Like
Okay.
there's something about some food that just makes you keep on eating of it.
Okay.
And that's the concept. You want to
Improve.
work with. No, I mean, the whole concept of the company is that you
To
want to
work with
come
you more.
back. You
Okay.
want to
Understandable.
films that you can't get enough of,
Yeah.
productions you can't get enough of. You want to come back, and it's nice because the agencies I've been working with,
Want to
they've
work
been
with
coming back. So it kind of works. Yeah, it kind of seems to
That's
work.
subliminal messaging.
Yeah.
Okay. And you work in film.
Yeah.
So you have you're head of your own production company.
Yes.
What got you into film?
Oof. Childhood, I think.
Childhood.
Yeah,
You loved films as a child?
I loved films as a child, and I
Okay.
think I didn't really have a choice. We used to live in Saudi.
Okay.
I lived in Saudi in my
did not know
childhood.
that.
Yeah, I lived
Okay.
till I was about 12.
Okay.
And
Jeddah or Riyadh?
Jeddah.
Okay. All right.
And when we were there, we didn't really have, back in the 70s, the 80s, the 80s mainly, we didn't really, like, you're living there, you're stuck at home all day.
Yeah.
You can go to the pool with the friends, but not that much, not like in today's world. So me and my sister, we used to sit and watch the 2-3 films that we could get our hands on.
Okay.
The 2-3 VHS tapes we could get our hands on.
Tapes.
And after that, we went to Lebanon, same setup.
Yeah.
It was lovely, but in winter, we couldn't get out a lot of the house. My dad used to still work in Saudi. It's like, okay, my favorite trip on the weekend was to go to the video store and choose the films, discuss with the guy there, for him to advise on what films to rent films, and go back home and watch them.
I can relate so much because that's
You
how
do?
I started. Yeah, and I worked in a video shop. I worked in a video
No
shop for 10
way.
years. Yeah.
No way.
When I was
Isn't
a kid, I
that
remember.
cool?
Yeah, it was the best thing. I think people miss that now.
Yeah.
Because now, okay, I love that fact that I have Prime and Netflix and you have everything at your fingertips. But it's like so just there.
There was something about it, made it more precious.
Yeah.
It made the film you picked, you thought of, you picked
But that, yeah.
precious to sit and watch, and not just
Because
scrolling
you don't
on.
have an option. Like if now you watch something and it doesn't look good, you're like, next one. That
Exactly.
video, you'd have to go back to the video shop, and then you're like, really? And then
So you'd give it a shot.
Yeah, you're like, I got 90 minutes. I'm gonna go for this and see what happens. But then sometimes it was just
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if it's good, you want to watch it again
Yeah.
and again before you return it, so that you don't pay again and you rent it out.
But like in our video shop, like if you returned it before a certain time, you'd get like 50% off. So you'd go back and return and
And if you return it late, you have to pay
a
more.
fine. Yeah. Here now, nothing. Like return what? You just watch it like, it's
$7 a month? What is
yeah,
it?
something
Netflix
like that. Yeah.
or
And you can watch it on multiple
Yeah.
things on your phone, on a tablet. What was like the first movie you remember that just like you like stuck in your head, or first director or actor that like you saw and you're like, wow, that's why. This is what I want to do.
Oof. I mean, maybe it's not the first, but yeah, but the one that struck me, I would say, it wasn't the first one, but the one that made me feel that,
Moved you.
this is moved me a lot is Cassavetes, John Cassavetes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It shook me.
All
It's
right.
like that's the type of films. It's very niche. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
he has a very
It's,
specific style.
Very specific
Yeah,
style, and
yeah.
it's but it's very emotionally intense.
Yeah.
And there's also Bergman with Persona. Persona, if you watch it again now,
Yeah.
it's still.
These are classics.
These are
Like, yeah.
classics, but those are the ones that like shook me. It's like, oh my God, there's like a lot of poetry in film. There's a lot of depth, and you go also to Tarkovsky, where there's a lot of philosophy also, and it's like all of these shook me. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, it's not only. I mean, I loved all the ones that I watched when I was a kid that took me there, like the Rabbi Jacob, the French films.
Okay.
I don't know if you know it.
Not that one, I
Les
don't know this
Aventures de Rabbi Jacob. It's a Louis de Funès film.
No, I see that.
It's very French.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But I mean, those slowly
Influence you to get to.
made me watch more and more films.
Tchaikovsky did the red, white, and the three colors.
That one is
I thought that was
Bleu Blanc. Yeah,
Bleu Blanc, yeah.
with
Three
one
colors,
with
red, white,
Binoche,
and-
one with
yeah.
Julie
Julie Binoche,
Delpy,
exactly,
one
yeah.
with Julie Delpy. It's beautiful.
And that you got it. So that you went into film because this inspired you going to film, like to school.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, the reason why I went to film school is like that's all I want to do.
Okay.
I love journalism. I loved biology. I loved a lot of things, but this is what I loved the most. This is where I felt like, this is where I belong. It's
Okay.
like this is where I want my tribe to be, basically.
Okay.
I felt this, and because I kept on watching films, especially the last years of school. I kept on watching films all summer, reading books and watching films, and I watched a lot of Fellini. I started discovering Fellini, Antonioni, all of I'm telling you, like it went into deep diving into the difficult classics. Because
you
they're
didn't
difficult.
go with any like you're not going like it was nothing. You're not doing the mainstream stuff. You did really the arty.
It's
the
after
the things.
doing the mainstream.
That's what people are gonna
But
think
you know,
now.
we're going back to film now.
We should.
We are. When I was in France, we
Yeah.
shot on a 60 millimeter camera.
Where did you? And they still have. I mean,
Yes.
because I can't.
That's how cool it is. So because of everything that's happening with how things are moving very fast, things are becoming very digital, very sharp, and I think AI is playing a big role also with that. Like very sharp. You don't know where things are coming from. Not man-made.
Yeah.
People are missing analog. People
Texture.
are missing texture.
Yeah.
And even the directors and the DOPs, when you talk to them now, they tell you our favorite thing now is to shoot on 35. Whenever we have a chance, we are shooting on 35.
I'd love to.
Not here because we don't have the labs.
lab.
It's more complex here,
Yeah.
but it's happening more in Europe. It's coming back somehow in a nice way. You know, it's trends.
Where did you study?
I were university in Lebanon at
Okay.
the USG,
USG.
University Saint-Joseph, Université Saint-Joseph.
And you studied film.
Film, yes.
Okay. And then from film, where did you go to? What took you after that? After you finished university, where did you go?
After I finished my studies, I went and continued masters just because I felt like
You needed to study more.
I studied more, but same university. But I did a whole year of masters and doing, like essays and very intense philosophy of cinema and all of that, which was really nice. And after that, I worked on a couple of feature films.
Oh, nice.
In
Lebanon?
Lebanon,
Okay.
of Ghassan Salhab and Randa Shahal.
Okay.
They, back in the days where feature films, I mean, now it's much easier, like we were saying, with digital and all of that, it's much easier and smoother to do films and cheaper. But back in the days, it was a big struggle. And so first I started on a feature film of Ghassan Salhab, Terra Incognita. It was an amazing experience. I was an art director on the shoot.
Oh, wow, okay.
And it was like just coming out of university.
Yeah, great experience.
Because they didn't have money. They had to hire someone that they could trust
Yeah.
with a basic experience, And I was like, okay, this is how much I know. I'm responsible. I'll take the job. I have some taste.
Yeah.
I'm responsible. I've done art direction at university.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful. It was a wonderful experience.
Okay.
Wonderful. So after that, a few months after that, the same production team contacted me for the film of Randa Shahal.
Okay.
That was called The Kite. That was to be shot in the Bekaa Valley.
Oh, okay.
And it was very interesting. Also, art direction on that film. It was funny. And so those were like the big adventures I did after university.
Okay.
But there weren't a lot of films happening at the time.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot now. But at the time, so I had to move into something else where it's more active, I went into production, but mostly actually I went into being an assistant director on ads. For many years I was an assistant director, which was really fun.
Okay.
It was fun.
You liked being assistant director?
I liked it at that time, but then I got bored of it.
Because you're running the show.
Because
you have to run.
It's cool. It's
Yeah.
very interesting. You run the show, and that's what I love about it. It's that I still have that clock in my head. Like when you run the show, you know that how much time you have. And now being a producer, it's funny, but it's interesting because now I can tell whenever I'm doing a shoot, before we even, while I'm bidding it, if it fits in a day, in 2 days, how we can squeeze it, how we can't squeeze it. I can see the schedule in my head way before I get an assistant director on set. So, yeah.
Did you find that, like being a woman, like it was like a few years ago, was it difficult being on set,
very
getting
difficult.
respect from the team and the struggles? Because
So difficult.
Okay.
It was, I'll tell you what was very difficult at that time. Being a woman, you have to find different ways of talking to the crew, especially in Lebanon at the time. Dubai was much kinder to women. Dubai is really, I arrived to Dubai because I was shooting all over the Middle East. Shot in Egypt, Lebanon, and Dubai, Oman. When I shot in Dubai, it's like the crew doesn't care if you're a man or a woman.
Yeah.
They just follow the orders. It's very strict. But in Lebanon, because everyone knows everyone and because it's more of a man's world back in the days, it was tough. It was tougher, but it wasn't impossible. Once I just had to make friends with people. But you had to impose yourself more. I found myself with a louder voice. I had to train my voice to be more loud, more present. And when I got to Dubai, I said, I don't need that voice anymore. Okay. I just ask people for things and they just happen.
Just like
but what was more difficult at the time for a woman, more than that, because that after a while you have a reputation and things flow. But and it was interesting, like with directors, it was very interesting. But what was difficult, because my ambition at the time was to move from being an assistant director to becoming a director.
Yeah.
And it was practically
impossible.
That was 22 years ago. Impossible for a woman. Impossible.
I was going to ask, did you work with many female directors?
I worked with Nadine Labake.
Okay,
and
so
she's
famous.
Good. No, she was very good, because at the time she used to do ads. And she was very good. You can see she understands. Yeah. She could see the edit in her head. She was very good. But she was the only one that was in Lebanon able to be, a female director at the time. Now I'm very happy because I see a lot of
Leila
female
Kanan,
directors.
there's a lot.
Yeah,
There's a lot
now
more.
a
There's
lot.
a lot more.
Ingrid, many, and I'm
Yeah.
very happy to see that. And I honestly, I really want to encourage them
Yeah.
to keep on going. It's no longer like it used to be. On the contrary, now a lot of brands come and it's like, please, we need at least one woman pitching on the project.
Yeah.
Trying to be fair.
When you were coming up, what was like the best piece of advice you got in anything, whether it's industry or life, that you remember? And also, what was the worst piece of advice you got?
Oof, I have to think of that because usually I erase the worst piece of advices.
Okay.
Maybe the worst piece of advices would be like be louder, be you know.
Yeah.
That's
Don't be
one
yourself.
of don't be yourself.
Yeah.
Play the game. Be more.
The game in the corporate world, this game is the game is the best thing that the people like the stupidest thing. Sorry,
like we know the game. We can play it. It's just that you want to be more and more. The older you get, the more you want to be yourself. The more you want to enjoy work. I mean, the one that pops in my head right now is one that keeps on coming back, and I love it. It's the Maya Angelou quote. She said something very sweet. I just love that woman.
Okay.
I just love her.
Okay.
And she said something very sweet. It's I'm just trying to remember it. It was don't like. I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not gonna say it exactly as it is.
Paraphrase,
but, yeah, exactly. I'm gonna paraphrase it. It's like it's not what you did to me that I would basically remember. It's how you made me feel.
Yeah, I know. I think I know the thing. Yeah.
The quote, exactly.
Yeah, the quote. Yeah.
And it's really true because it's you wanna, and I really go through that with everything in my life, like with work, with life. It's like it's not like because we all make mistakes. We all say crazy stuff. We all get angry. We all do mistakes. But it's not the mistake that counts. It's how basically you managed it.
Yeah.
It's how you apologized or how you got over it or how you didn't make the other person feel resentment or weren't condescending, you know?
Yeah.
It's about how making people feel. And same to us because it's human nature. It's like making the other feel comfortable with you.
There's a few people that I've despised working with, and the product could have been great, and you know, and they're like, "Oh, but it was a great film." I'm like, "I don't care. It was so painful to do it. It was so painful. I don't, you know, it was, it's, you know, I don't care about the reward at the end." And there's some projects, some people I worked with, you know him as well, Emil. Okay?
Emil Slaylet. Oh.
I've worked with him on multiple occasions. I could not tell you the end product, okay? I can just tell you that working with him every single time, with the energy, with the smile, like it could have been, like this man.
He brings joy to life.
Completely.
I know.
Just to everyone
He's
around.
one of my good friends.
Yeah, and he's just like, like he just goes and he's just got this energy, this persona. You're like, "Oh God, khalas, I'm tired." And he's like, "Okay, guys, let's go." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like, you know, he just brings this energy and he's like, "I want it." And you're just like, "Yeah, okay." And you just know that every single, I get goosebumps thing. He just has such a beautiful energy, aura. And like, And I'm like, I don't know what I worked with him on, but I know that every single time I did, the 3-4 times, it was so much fun.
You just want to work with him again.
Yeah, I just want to work with him again. Along your journey, what have you learned about yourself?
I learned a lot. I changed a lot. I evolved a lot.
Okay.
I was a lot more snappy.
Really?
Okay. Because
as a first AD, you have to be to control the set and run everything.
Exactly. No, but I worked. I'll tell you along from a work perspective because I worked at a production company. Then I went to an agency.
Which
then
is tough.
But it's differently tough. To tell you honestly, at the beginning at the agency, it's like, hey, this is a walk in the park.
Oh, really?
Production.
Okay.
And then I opened a production company. So I went back to the other side.
Yeah.
And I can tell you what I learned throughout that journey. I mean, from a work perspective, is understanding where agency and client come from. I became much more empathizing with them. a lot more, because like I understood their journey
Yeah.
before. Because when I used to be at the production company and I used to get a brief, it's like these agencies, they don't understand. They're like
There's
too
no money.
demanding, and there's no money. Well, there was money at the time actually.
Now there's
But
not. But
no, there's no money.
Yeah.
But now you say that. But
Yeah.
it's like they're too demanding. They're too specific. They're too I don't know. Like they don't understand. It's for us to direct this.
They should listen to us.
They should listen to us.
Yeah.
And now it changed a lot. Now I work, it's like, no, I'm a partner with you guys. I work hand in hand with you. I understand your concerns. I became much more understanding that there is a lot that happens before projects come to us. I mean, I know maybe that's not the question, but that's what popped in my head.
Okay.
Like from a work perspective, that's why, like I tell you, I used to be more snappy.
Yeah.
I became much more mature in that sense,
Okay.
where I understood more where everybody's coming from.
And that was after you left the agency and you saw how both
I mean,
worlds
even
are.
when I joined the agency, I was
Yeah.
like, this is
This is-
why.
now I see the other side.
No, and when I moved to the other side, it's like I became more empathizing with not only empathizing. It's like I push now the team. It's like, no, do it, because they need it for their client. They need it for the brand. No, make the product bigger. It's okay. We'll make it bigger and we'll make it smaller and we'll see at the edit. It's okay. But,
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
like I became more understanding with that, from that sense. On a life perspective, I can tell you what evolved is that balance of life and work. Because back in my 30s, I used to work a lot, not live enough.
Yeah.
Now I found the balance where I'm still passionate while keeping, because it's important. I work a lot more.
Yeah.
In a way where, because it's my company and it's
Yeah.
growing, it's not even
your
2 years
passion.
old.
Yeah.
I have to, and I have to with excitement, I say it. Like I have to, it's like, yes, I want to. I wake up on the weekends.
Yeah.
I research directors, I research things, or I work on a budget that I have. Like, I work more, but in my head, the balance is clear. So I take the breaks when I have to be with my family, to be with my friends. It became more of a priority. My personal life went back to being as important as work.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then you were saying that at the beginning you wanted to be a director.
Yeah.
Is that something you would think about doing still?
I don't know. More because I'm not necessarily an advertising director that would jump from one project to the other, explaining things, because when you're an advertising director, you are one, and you have a whole setup of an agency and a client and a treatment. It's like I don't see myself there. I see myself doing my own directing,
passion.
or doing a documentary or doing small things, but not necessarily all kind of things. Yeah, I will. I'm a filmmaker. Nowadays, a filmmaker can be a producer and a director, or and a writer. Or I'm a filmmaker, but I'll tell you what I am. I'm more a curator of talent.
Okay.
What I know my expertise at is, because I don't know if I'm a good director, maybe, but what I know I'm good at is that I'm a curator of talent.
Okay.
I can spot the right talent for the project. I can help the talent, like I can help a director. I can help whomever the talent is feel excited about the project, help them get the project in the right place. I can properly, like doing a producer's job, I think it's a producer's job to find the right director, to help them get the job, to be a partner with a director. Like I partner more with directors than being on my own, because I sit with them and I challenge them, but in a way where I help them, where I get them the equipment that makes sense for them to get, where I push them to get what the agency needs, or to get things ahead of the shoot, so that I let them do their job on the shoot. I protect them from chaos.
Okay.
It's, I guess that's what I know I can do very well.
Okay.
Now, being a director is something on smaller projects I can do, yes, but not...
Not on those. Okay. What would be your greatest fear? Your greatest fear?
My greatest
Fear. Yeah.
fear.
Do you have any? Do you have any fears?
That's
think
also
everyone
one of the
does.
things that I hide in the back of. That's one of the ones where I don't want them to come out. I mean, death. It's
Death.
not. It's not a fear. It's something I think it's like everyone. It's not that I don't want to die. I don't want people around me that I love to die. That's my fear.
Okay.
Not me. And of course me also, but it's more. I love. It's silly. It's cliche, but I love life too much. I don't want
Okay.
it to end for me. I don't want it to end for my loved ones. I'd rather I die before them.
Yeah. I hear you.
But that's selfish. It's normal.
It's allowed.
Yeah, but think about it. It is selfish because we don't want to feel the pain
Yeah.
of losing our loved ones.
Yeah.
But that's the first fear that
But
would
you
come
could be
to
like,
mind.
I don't want to grow. I don't want to have to grow old and someone to take care of me. So I'd rather die so they didn't have to suffer. And you
Of
know, and
course.
also there's that kind of
Of
thing.
course.
Yeah.
And I don't want to. And I don't want to feel that I haven't. Actually, the other thing, I don't want to feel that I haven't
Lived?
You know
What would that mean?
fear. That means, you know, when they tell you that, you
Like
know,
what's
that
on your bucket list when you say that you have to live? Like what do you want to? What else do you want to do?
everything. No, but when I say that, but when I have that, I have FOMO. You know, I go on a holiday, start being sad that it's gonna end one day. You know? And from the morning, I want to wake up early, but at the same time, I want to sleep a lot. But I want to wake up early to read and to go out.
I
and
can't
to
sleep. I'm like I can't
See,
sleep.
you have that.
I have because because my son wakes up early, so I need to wake up earlier than him to do a few things,
Yeah.
so I can spend that time with him because I don't want to be at the gym or anything.
But you want to spend time with him.
But I
So
want to
it's-
spend time with him, yeah.
Because
But then
that's the beauty of
you
life.
know,
But that's living.
And then I wake up, and then he's like, "Daddy, Daddy." I'm like, "Dude, wait. I need to have a coffee to wake up because I've been awake for 2.5 hours before he wakes up. So I need that." Yeah.
But that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like when you say what's the bucket list,
Yeah.
it's everything. It's like living. It's sometimes it's a walk in nature, that or a walk on the beach that makes me feel that okay, today I ticked that from the bucket list where I felt that I'm part of nature, where I felt that I'm connected with friends, laughters, family. It's very, but at the same time, it is. We all want to feel that we're achieving things in life.
Yeah.
I want to feel that I've done beautiful films, beautiful art, beautiful. You know, I left something, a
Like
trace
for
of
people
that,
to remember. Yeah.
or for me to feel proud of. That's why it's like I say, it's like I love cooking. It's like I want to, on a daily basis, keep on creating recipes, thinking of recipes, cooking. It's taking care of people I love. It's a lot of things. That's why I say just living.
I say this and not to be because but normally I ask people if you're on death row, what would be your final meal? But I'll change it to be few. But you were saying cooking, and I don't want to talk about death. But if you have your ultimate, let's say, close dinner party, okay, with yourself and 3 other people, who would those 3 people be? Dead or alive? You don't have to know them. You could know them. You might want to know them.
3 is too limited for me.
Okay.
I would have a long table.
Okay.
I would have
Give
my
me some
sisters,
Okay.
my husband,
Okay.
my close friends,
Okay.
like friends from university. One of
Like,
them
that's
is
a big-
Emil.
that's a
Emil
big-
needs to be there.
He'll be the life and soul of the party. Okay, let's say people you don't know.
Yeah.
People you've never met before, but you would like to meet. You would like to have at that, you know?
Oh,
Yeah. 3 people, though.
people
You've
I
never met
haven't
before.
met.
You have never met before.
Well, Maya Angelou.
100%, yes.
She's.
Yeah.
If you've read her memoirs, she's like super interesting. I just want to sit with that woman.
Her poems, her words are inspiring.
Yeah.
And peaceful. Very
Peaceful. She's very grounding.
Yeah.
She's very
Yeah.
grounding. But
Yeah.
when you read her story, it's like, wow, how did that woman go through that? That would be one of them. There are so many directors, maybe Cassavetes, maybe Coppola, you know, like a director.
Coppola, because he's going to bring wine.
He's
Because
gonna
he can bring wine. It's
let
so
him
for
come.
sure. He has his, yeah.
And he's alive. I have more
And
chances.
yeah, you know.
I have a little bit more chances of
Yeah.
of having him there. People I don't know of. A singer, I would say the third person would definitely be Tom Waits, for example.
Tom, that's jazz, no?
Tom Waits,
Or
he's
is-
not jazz.
No?
He's
I'm bad with music, so I
it's
apologize.
okay,
So
it's
that-
okay.
yeah.
No, he's an American singer. I
Yeah.
don't know what you would call his
He
music.
acts as well, doesn't he? Acts in a lot of films. Didn't he act in
He acted in
in Cassavetes movies, or was
he
it in
acted
Jim
in Jim
Jarmusch?
Jarmusch.
Jim Jarmusch.
In
Yeah,
Jim
yeah, yeah.
Jarmusch movies.
Coffee and cigarettes.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay,
exactly,
now I know. I know.
exactly,
I see his
exactly.
visual. He's got that
Yeah,
like. Yeah.
very
I know
gritty, very,
not jazz, but that kind of like.
exactly. That's why very soulful. Like
Yes.
it's a lot of soul.
Okay.
Or Nina Simone.
Sinner Man is one of my favorite songs of all time. I absolutely love her.
Yeah. And she's like, because she's very interesting. She's very interesting. She's a very sad soul, but she's very interesting.
What would you serve them, or what would you have? What would you all eat? What would be your meal that you'd want to have? Final meal, though, by the way, and it can be whatever you
Final.
want. Yeah, it can be 2-3 starters or courses, whatever you want. But
That I would
it's-
make.
Make or someone you'd have.
Well,
you know?
it will have to have some pasta, because if it's a final meal, why live without pasta and parmesan and
Spaghetti,
maybe a
rigatoni.
lasagna?
I love lasagna.
Yeah, like something very homey, a lasagna, or like a
Yeah.
lasagna with Italian. It would be an Italian
That's Italian meal. Okay.
I mean, with
Tiramisu.
lasagna, I can't get a miso meal, so it would just be full on Italian, a beautiful burrata, but from Tuscany. Like
Okay,
you feel
I do love a
the
burrata.
olive oil from there.
Yeah.
Some fish, like raw fish, raw sea bass with olive oil, infused orange olive oil. Like I mean,
I'm
when
getting
you go
hungry
to
now.
those countries, you just sit
Everything-
there.
'cause the
It's
ingredients are
simple.
all fresh. Yeah.
Exactly, it's
Yeah.
simple but
Yeah.
homey food, heartwarming kind of
Okay.
food, and with a lot of parmesan.
Okay. So Italian meals, we have the people
With wine.
with wine. Yeah,
Red
Coppola's
wine.
bringing the wine.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
with the red
actually,
wine.
yeah, exactly,
he has to bring the
exactly.
red. I do love red wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love a good Amarone or a Barolo. It's
Yes.
that's
I
very
had plenty
good.
this summer in Italy.
Huh?
I was in Italy this summer, had
So
plenty
that's
of
why
that. Yeah.
Can you take one of these jars? One of
would like
let me hold on.
But the microphone's not allowing
Would you
me.
like? You choose one.
The red one.
Here we go. Okay. Before you answer that one, what advice would you give Rouba as a teenager? After living now,
Yeah.
what would you tell yourself?
I would tell myself to have been more confident when I was younger.
Okay.
Yeah, like I knew my value, but it's just that be more loud about it.
Okay.
That's what I didn't do. I knew my value. I knew what I was, who I was, what I wanted, but I was just like I used to when I was younger, when I was a teenager. It's like if people don't agree with that, I was just go away rather than push forward and with my ideas, with my beliefs. I used to say, like, okay, I'll just move away rather than no, push for it. Let people know, be louder. Because when I was a kid, I was louder. And I went back when I hit 40. I remember when I hit 40, it's like, you know how they tell you a midlife crisis, which I love. 40, it's like you change perspective. It's like, okay, I want to, because you realize that you're in the middle of your life somewhere. So you want to live again. It's like when people say midlife crisis, it's a good thing, actually. It depends how you behave on it. But it's very nice because I went back to feeling light, like I was a kid, feeling more powerful, feeling more like, no, I'm gonna stick to my beliefs, stick to kind, while remaining kind, but stick to what I believe in, and push that and convince people with that. So yeah, that's what I think I missed in the middle.
Okay, very nice. I like that. We can ask to see what the question is.
What's the biggest lie you have ever told? Ah, that I've ever told?
Was it for good or for bad?
The biggest lie.
Yeah.
That's also on the back.
Okay. We'll leave it in the back then. Okay, we'll end on that.
It's going to take time for me to remember it.
Thank you
course
so
I told
much
one.
for coming. It was great talking to you. This could go on for a long time, but we'll meet again
Yeah.
and catch up and
Thanks for
talk
having
more.
me. It
Thank
was
you.
lovely.